morning. Day 47. So next week we're going to have one day where it's not going to be freezing cold, and I think it'll be decent, and I think I'm going to have to go out and do a little shop. Not too much, but I'm out of eggs, I'm out of produce, so it's time to buy a few groceries, but I definitely want to keep the costs down. And I'll continue my freezer cooking. So I need a few snacks and things for the dogs. I'm not going to buy much in the way of prepared foods. I might buy some potato chips, because you know I like my potato chips. But mostly produce and basics, just basics. So we'll see. I have my list going that I have in my budget book, and there actually isn't too much on there considering I haven't been shopping in a long time. So anyway, let's go see what's for breakfast. Day 47. All right. Let's see, I have an idea of what I'm going to make. Here's my leftovers from last night's dinner. That was a lot of food and it was so delicious. So I have these 2 egg whites left over from making my hollandaise sauce, so I know I want to use those. And I think I want to use my jelly. And we went to Chili's, and they have a new menu from the last time we were there, and it was really delicious. All right, so I think that's what I'm going to have. I'm going to make some crepes. Hello. I'm going to make some crepes. Now, I've never made these before. I have no idea if they're good or not. But I have in this bowl half a cup of flour. Now the recipe calls for whole wheat flour. I don't have that. Well, I probably have some in my stash, but I don't want to open a bag. So I'm using what I have. I have the 2 egg whites left over from yesterday's sauce. So that's going to go in. Half a cup of milk. So I'll start with that. And this is soy milk, so hopefully it works out okay, but we'll eat them anyway, as long as they're edible. Alright, so that goes in, and a tablespoon of vegetable oil. And from what I read from the reviews, if you don't want to use oil, you can use applesauce. I haven't tried that either. And then a pinch of salt. Alright, and then my egg whites. And then I'm going to whisk this up. And it doesn't say to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to let it sit to hydrate the flour for about a half an hour or so. Now my crepe making expertise isn't that great, because it takes kind of a coordination of swirling it in the pan and you know, turning it. So I don't know, give it a try. Don't be afraid to try new things. And I'm just going to put the rest of my jelly on this and roll it up and maybe put a little whipped cream on, I'm not sure. So we'll see how this works out, and if it's good, then I will make them again. And if it's not good, I won't make it again. So I'm thinking I would like to add a little, just a splash of vanilla in here would be good. And maybe just a little bit of sugar, because I do want this to be a sweet crepe. And of course the recipe does not call for that. And but I'm going to give it a try. All right, because you know me, I can't leave a recipe alone. So I'm just going to put a tiny splash. That's it, just a taste. And then just a tiny, tiny bit of sugar. And that's all of that too, because I want this to be kind of a sweet crepe. All right, so most of the big lumps are out. There we go. Now I'm going to let this sit a while. And then I'll be back and we'll attempt to make some crepes. All right, I'm going to give this a go. Trying to distribute this coconut oil. Don't want to make it too hot. All right, and they say 1/4 cup, so all right. This is supposed to make 4 crepes. So we'll see. Don't be afraid to try new things. All right, I'm swirling. I guess you gotta swirl kind of quick. And then it says cook 2 minutes. Flip it and cook 2 more minutes. So I'll be back when this is ready to flip. Well, lots of dog noise going on here, but I'm going to try and flip this. Let's see how we do. Sometimes if it doesn't stick to the pan, it sticks to the spatula. All right, let's give it a go. All right, 2 more minutes. Well, it's not brown enough on this side, so I may have to flip it again. But I had a friend that used to make the best crepes. They were really delicious. But she passed away a few years ago, and I do miss her, and I miss her crepes. She was actually a friend of mine from high school, and we were good friends for a lot of years. So I'm going to cook this, you get the general idea, and then I'll see if this is good. Okay, well this first crepe doesn't look too bad. It was kind of stuck to the pan a little bit, but I switched to a smaller spatula. So I'm going to try and make another one, but I think I need to put a little oil on here first. And I also ended up oiling my spatula because the spatula was kind of sticking. So I'll get the hang of it by the 4th one. I should be an expert. So these seem to be pretty easy to make. And they say the first one never turns, it's like pancakes, the first one never turns out that well. So far so good. It may make 4, which is just enough for 2 breakfasts for me. All right, so this made 4 1/2 a tiny crepe. They seem to have a good texture. I'm going to put these together and roll them up. I'm just going to put jelly and powdered sugar on them. So I'll be back in a minute. Crepes are another thing like tortillas. You can fill them with a lot of good leftovers, you know, whatever you want. So savory, sweet. So it's a good option to learn to make some simple crepes. So I used up all my chia berry jam. So that's good. I have more in the freezer. And I have some apple butter here that I've had for a while that I want to use up. So I'm going to make one of these with apple butter. I haven't had apple butter in a long time. So, and you can put peanut butter on with these, whatever you want. So This one I'm going to do apple butter. And since you're going to roll this up, you probably don't want to make it too thick. But if you like it thick, then that's the way you should do it. All right, let's see. So they roll nicely. I think I would make these again if they taste good. All right, there we go, 2 crepes. I could probably eat more than that. And then do any of you guys have this Tupperware mill? I think they discontinued it, but I don't know why, because it works great for powdered sugar. All right, so treat yourself to a nice Saturday or Sunday breakfast. There we have 2 crepes, and I may even put some whipped cream on here. Day 47, brunch. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.